This might be a tough watch for Donald Curry fans as it marks his final appearance in the ring, and he doesn't look anything like the Lone Star Cobra of the 1980s. This bout takes place in April of 1997, back when pay-per-views were still $14.95, and this was promoted as a grudge match. Curry's opponent, Emmett Linton, was someone he used to train and manage. Their relationship took a nosedive a year and a half earlier, and this bout is essentially a rematch of their gym brawl that took place in Fort Worth, Texas. Curry accused Linton of leaking information that resulted in him receiving a 6-month prison sentence for failing to pay child support. The situation escalated when Curry fathered a child with a woman who later began dating Linton. Linton, in turn, allegedly provided details about Curry's financial situation to the woman, which led to the former champion's legal troubles. As a result, Curry ended up spending 2 weeks in jail and another 4 weeks in a work release program. Ever since, Curry had been itching for a chance to settle the score with Linton in the ring. No longer fighting under Paul Reyes and Dave Gorman, Curry returned to the ring with former light heavyweight champion Eddie Mustafa Muhammad as his trainer. Meanwhile, Linton reunited with his old boxing coach from Tacoma, Tom Mustin. Before the fight, the now 35-year-old Curry reflected, quote, "My mind knows how old I am, but does my body know it?"
Okay, both of you guys' trunks are a little high. This is not low, okay? You're a cup, okay? I want a good, clean fight. I'll give you instruction in the dressing room. No talking and fight.
Well, if you heard that, folks, both men literally carrying on a conversation with each other. Donald Curry, there you see him trying to get the last psychological edge in, saying to Emmett Linton, "It's time. You better be ready." We'll find out if young Emmett Linton at the age of 26 is in fact ready for Donald Curry. Curry coming back after that long layoff at the age of 35. Doug pointing out how active Emmett Linton was in the interim. That man won the welterweight championship in February of 1983 against Jung Suk Wang. I was there. This young, and there is Donald Curry, a guy who has seen just about everything there is to see in the boxing wars, but how fit is he and how ready is he at this age?
Also a question due to the fact that these two had that very bitter falling out, which ended up actually in a street fight, and allegations that one of them was going to get a gun to pursue the other, but that never actually came about. Will emotions actually play a part here now in the ring? Will a guy get thrown off because of the personal nature and emotional nature of this fight that you lose focus and lose your game plan?
And that often happens when there really is genuine animosity. Now, Donald Curry has fought lefties before, to be sure, and is usually pretty effective against left-handers. And that is what he's facing, of course, against Emmett Linton.
He's also facing is not having basically fought for 6 years. That's a long time.
We'll look to see the balance of Emmett Linton. That is called a knockdown on Donald Curry. Interesting.
Well, quite obviously, he's not hurt.
Again, the question of balance comes into play. We'll take a look back at that, of course, in between rounds to see what transpired. The balance of Curry is a problem already. We saw it with Sugar Ray Leonard, and you can see it here. And my other question is, why do these guys come back against lefties? It's very difficult.
Well, I think it wasn't a case here coming back against a lefty, but just coming back against a guy who just has an obsession with coming back against, regardless of what he is.
Before fighting a fighter of Linton's caliber, Curry should have had at least 6 or 7 fights.
Well, he had one tune-up and won it, but obviously not 6 or 7. Curry has one of the big tools necessary to beat a lefty, and that's a good left hook. And I think Donald Curry, if he's going to win this bout, is going to have to fight it on the inside, not the outside.
Well, pointed to Donald Curry, especially after he knocked out Milton McCrory in that devastating fashion when those two had a unification championship fight.
Now there, Donald Curry did some of the things he's going to need to do if he's going to be effective in this fight. On the inside, put together some nice combinations. And it showed that where Curry needs to be is on the inside.
Oh boy, his legs are not looking too good, Curry's.
Balance problems bedeviling Donald Curry in the first round. Eddie Mustafa Muhammad will talk to him.
You got one. This is what I want. Get him over the jab. Right, when you get in the clinch, let your hands go. understand what I'm saying? Let your hands go underneath the body. Okay. Relax and relax. Nice and relax, right? Breathe through your nose. Relax. There you go. Nice and relax. Just give me the jab. Start off with the jab. All right? And when you sit inside, let your hands go to the body. That's going to tire him out. Just stay nice and relaxed, nice and calm. The jab and sitting and punch to the body. See, he's not going to move around, all right? He's not going to be moving around in there. So I want
Take a look at what was called a knockdown. See if it was a legitimate knockdown. The two in close. Linton with a right hand to the body. And the legs just barely collapsed underneath Donald Curry. It certainly was a legitimate knockdown. There was a punch there, and he went right to his knees.
In the first round, Donald Curry fought like a guy who's been away from the ring for 6 years.
We head into round 2 of this battle between Donald Curry and Emmett Linton. It's scheduled for 12. It's for the IBA Junior Middleweight Championship, as both these men would like to move ahead to one of the more recognizable world championships. But this is a stepping stone. Certainly Linton feels it is. And Donald Curry, trying his comeback, needs the win desperately. Curry was down in round 1, had some balance problems.
This is a guy, Donald Curry. Remember, he turned pro way back in 1980. He first won a world title in '83, the WBA. He beat Marlon Starling to add the IBF. Then he beat Milton McCrory to add the WBC, unifying a championship.
Emmett Linton, for his part, at the age of 26, has some big wins. Beat Stevie Martinez in 1995. There he lands a good straight left hand. Also got a big win over Tony Marshall. But has never quite stepped up to the plate the way some people thought he would after a great amateur career. Also, Curry having trouble with Linton's left-handed style. I think it's creating some additional problems for him. So the round is about to come to an end. Another good one for Emmett Linton.
Curry looks right at the end of the round as though he's trying to get some rhythm, trying to loosen up a little in there. He got up on his toes, he's trying to move around the ring a little bit.
Sugar Ray Leonard, but unfortunately Donald Curry hasn't been very impressive either, which shows you how unimpressive Sugar Ray Leonard was.
We head into round 3, and his corner, Linton's corner, wanted to be more aggressive as well. 26-year-old Emmett Linton against 35-year-old Donald Curry. Curry was once his manager and his trainer. They parted company in less than happy circumstances, and right now the right hand hurts Donald Curry. That could have been a knockdown. I thought his knees touched, but instead he gets a short reprieve, does Curry.
Donald Curry's hurt right now.
Right, step back, step back.
But at least so far, from the opening bell, he really hasn't been in the fight.
Well, I don't know who won the street fight, but right now Emmett Linton is winning the boxing match with Donald Curry. And Curry, of course, one of the great fighters, as we mentioned, in the 80s. Coming back after a 5.5-year layoff, just has not quite had it this evening. The last lefty he fought was Michael Nunn, who he lost to in 1990 over 10 rounds, and had his moments in that fight, because that was a long time ago. Now Emmett Linton going after Curry, sensing that he's got him in trouble. And, you know, since there is this ill will, let me tell you something, Linton might not want to punish him over some rounds. He might carry Donald Curry for a little while just to punish him.
Well, he certainly looks as though he can have his way, although Curry's trying to fight back.
There's the hook of Curry. There's Curry trying to move to his left against the southpaw. That's the first time we've seen it. That right hurt Donald Curry.
He could end this fight right now if he wants to.
But Linton is enjoying this, let me tell you.
I don't think he's pulling any punches right now, Alex. Dick Steele should consider stopping this fight right now.
It's a wipeout.
Linton going after Donald Curry against the ropes. There is a minute left to go in this round, so there's a long time for Curry to try and survive, and nothing offensively is coming from him.
I think Dick Steele should stop this fight. Donald Curry is
Well, he has
helpless.
nothing. He has nothing. It looks as though he just entered this ring with nothing.
He's as helpless as Sugar Ray Leonard was against Hector Camacho.
Well, here comes Donald Curry punching back. Let's see if it has any impact on Linton. And did Linton punch himself out a little bit there? Not much much on those punches, but at least Curry is punching back at the moment. He's pushing all those punches. 20 seconds left to go. It looks like Curry might survive round 3, maybe. He has been whacked around here in the 3rd round, did not go down, but he has been in huge trouble.
I think this has got to be a 10-8 round anyway for Emmett Linton.
That'll do it for round 3. Can Donald Curry make it to the 4th round? And the doctor will come in and take a look.
You're not digging to the body. You're there, but you're not letting your hands go to the body. You're right there. Let your hands go with the body shots. How you feel?
Oh, man.
Good. I like that.
Really good.
Nice and relaxed. Want to take him on the outside a little bit?
Close it.
All right, take him on the outside.
How you doing, Donald?
I'm all right.
Take him on the outside on the back foot with the jab. Chin down with the jab, all right? Take him on the outside with the back foot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Pump the jab. Pump the jab. All right, keep him on the outside with the jab because he's lost with that. All right, now let your hands go. Take a little drink and start waiting. Let your hands go.
Close it.
It has been the Emmett Linton show so far. There, Curry trying to get his jab to work against Emmett Linton, but Linton showing superiority in almost every regard, at least so far. Was able to unleash a flurry of punches there. He got Curry into deep trouble later on in the round, and Curry did well just to last out the round.
So big round for Emmett Linton in round 3, but all of the first 3 rounds have gone well for him. He had a knockdown in the 1st round over Donald Curry. Now they want the jab from Curry, but against the lefty, sometimes that jab is not the most effective weapon, and it's the left hook that works, which Curry has in his arsenal. Ironically, when Curry started to decline a little bit, it was that he didn't use the jab enough, but those were against right-handers. Here against the lefty, I'm not sure the jab is the one weapon that he desperately needs. I think he needs to step in, get his foot outside the right foot of the southpaw and crank up those left hooks.
Unfurling those balls.
Well, we head into round 5, and we'll see if Linton does get more aggressive. Emmett Linton is the left-hander. Donald Curry is the righty. Linton, a 26-year-old, now fighting out of Tacoma, Washington, at 22-2 with 11 KOs. Curry with the 34-5 record and 25 KOs from Fort Worth, Texas. And he backs Linton against the ropes, gets a right hand in, but that's about all.
I thought that 4th round was Curry's best in the fight so far, and see if maybe he can build a little bit on that.
Curry has found a home for one punch, the right uppercut. But for him to go along with that uppercut, he's going to need the body shots, including the left hooks. Linton is letting Curry fight where he wants to fight. I don't think Emmett Linton really wants this always to be an inside fight, and yet he's letting Curry be there.
Linton's not taking advantage of his speed right now.
Or his left-handed style. See, when they're on the inside, it doesn't matter if you're fighting a lefty. It's negated.
And Curry keeps trying to turn him there, dragging his foot behind him and turn Linton, and then come up with the uppercut right up the middle.
This is the posture where Curry has a chance in this fight. Even if it's not a great chance, it's a chance. Because he wants this as an inside fight.
Plenty of heart in this fight. Maybe not a lot of reflexes, but a lot of heart.
Overcoming a very shaky start. Is round 5 the beginning of a comeback within a comeback for Donald Curry? It's been a pretty decent round for him. I don't know if he's won it, but he's been in there. They are working on the inside. Curry now taking some punches from Emmett Linton, who looks more the part of junior middleweight in terms of his body, certainly, than Donald Curry does. Some would argue Curry was always a natural welterweight. Nice work on the inside by Linton, so he has come back here in round 5.
Bad cut over Curry's right eye.
Curry hit with a good straight left hand at the end of round 5.
Work.
5 rounds are in the books. It's been a good outing so far for Emmett Linton and Donald Curry, looking for some answers.
Now, you got this man running crazy now. He didn't want no more. That's it. Nice and relaxed. Keep your hands up and keep punching the man's body. You see him getting out there and run now. He don't want no more of that. Then sit down. If you're going to sit in there, let your hands go to the body. All right? Hands up. As soon as you punch, you bring your hands back up. You don't want no more of this here. All right? He's ready to get up out of there. You see where his heart's going now. Pump the jab. Hands up. Step 2 with the jab going. All right? And sit and punch with both hands to the body. Bend your legs. He don't want no more of this here. Take a drink. Come on, baby. We can go all day with this here, right? We can go all day with this here, right? Bend your legs and punch to the body. Chin down. Chin down.
Curry's best moments of the fight came in round 5. Little uppercuts right inside. He seems to have some success. There he dipped and threw the left hook to the body. That's a good punch for him. I think you might be able to make a case for him winning that last round.
It was very close, a good comeback by Linton at the end, but we head toward the 6th round. It is scheduled for 12. Donald Curry against Laser Linton. Linton, the 26-year-old, Curry, the 35-year-old former welterweight champion.
Why isn't Linton moving like he was earlier in the fight? Moving around, throwing punches.
Linton is not, I agree with you, Doug, the center of the ring would be a better place for Linton, not on the inside with Curry. Just over a minute gone here in round 6, and what looked like a totally one-sided affair through the first 4.5 rounds has gotten a little bit closer. Now see on the outside, look what happens to Donald Curry. He gets hurt with the left hand, and now he's in trouble again.
Exactly right. As long as Curry had his head on the chest of Linton, he's in good shape.
Curry is getting whacked right now to the body and the head.
His legs actually looking better in this round than they did earlier.
It's truly amazing that Curry has weathered. Oh, that body shot hurt him badly from Linton.
Curry's heart is stronger now than it was 6 years ago, and he was knocked out by Terry Norris.
Could be. He had his moments in that fight and the Nunn fight where he showed real good technique and did some good work. In this fight, that's been less evident.
He was, of course, victim of maybe the hardest single punch thrown in the 1980s. That by Mike McCallum, the classic one-punch KO.
In a fight that Curry was winning. Cut over the right eye of Curry has opened up more, and he is looking tired. And now Emmett Linton is going to work on it.
Yeah, and Linton pushes him away. Now Linton using some strength. When Curry gets in too close, he pushes him back and gets some punching room.
Curry doing one very smart thing. He's getting on the inside, which at least he's safer in there.
Watch your head.
He may get through this 6th round. That's the face of Donald Curry.
Cuts really opened up over his right eye right now. Curry's right eye.
Emmett Linton goes to town here at the end of round 6. Will there be a round 7? They're still talking to each other.
I scored that a 10-8 round for Linton.
They're going to give you one more round, Donald. You'll get one more round. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to get one more round. All right, now you got to let it go, or they're going to stop the fight. You understand what I'm saying? Let your hands go when you're inside, Donald. Take a drink. How you feel? All right, let your hands go. Let your people see.
Well, after one bounce-back round by Donald Curry in round number 5, Linton came right back and completely dominated. And he landed, as you can see, clean punches. And what he did there was land and then get out of the way so that Curry couldn't get close to him. Look at the crispness of the punches, and he was hurting Curry with every shot he threw.
When Linton opens up, he dominates his fight. Inexplicably, the round before, he wasn't opening up. Every punch he's throwing right now is landing. And Eddie Mustafa, between rounds, as you heard him, he'll stop this fight. He doesn't, Curry doesn't improve this round.
Go to the corner. Go to the corner.
They will go back into the corner of Donald Curry. I think maybe a little too much coagulant on his face.
A few more precious seconds, though, for Donald.
He could use all that he could get. The cut over the right eye, they worked feverishly on that. As we head into round 7, it is scheduled for 12 for the IBA Junior Middleweight Championship. Curry just kind of fell down there. An indication of his exhaustion.
Curry's not going to remain vertical much longer.
You know, I would suggest to both of you that despite the fact that both he and Sugar Ray Leonard have had problems in their comeback, they would have done much better had they fought righties, infinitely better. Even if they had lost, they would have looked better. The normal punches would have been able to land. I think both made a huge mistake by coming back in a big way against lefties.
And against lefties who can fight.
Precisely.
Hector Camacho can still fight. Obviously, Emmett Linton can too.
It's a very good point, Doug. And for Emmett Linton, let's not just concentrate on Curry. Linton has performed very well here. And he's a 26-year-old who thinks he should be considered for the junior middleweight title. And I'll tell you, that's it. Richard Steele says, I've seen enough. Emmett Linton wins the grudge match. And he looks to the heavens.
That's a good stop by Richard. It appeared as though Donald had no chance at all of winning that fight. Donald Curry goes and slaps Linton on the back. At least he did that.
Well, let's see if they can reconcile in some way.
And they're hugging each other right now. That's a nice thing.
Well, that's good to see in any case.
Everything's over. Everything's over, right? Everything is over. Everything is over. Everything's over, right? All right. Okay.
Are you good?
You're the coach. Okay.
You better talk to me.
All right. All right.
How are you, my man?
There are the two men, and with all the bad blood and all the things that have been said, they end up hugging each other and showing some sign of conciliatory feelings.
Linton never quite breaks through beyond the club circuit, and he has long periods of inactivity, frequent stops and starts, and he never received a high-profile bout. As for Curry, he was offered $100,000 for the rights to his life story before the bout by film producer and Muhammad Ali photographer Howard Bingham. But Curry declined the offer, saying his story wasn't over yet. He believed he would become world champion again, and then they could make the movie. However, after the bout with Linton, Curry admitted his fighting days were behind him. The movie was never made, but Curry remained true to his word and walked away from the sport.